Do you think that that's like an innocuous task, having children?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, you said, like a girl going out. So if a girl is going on work, then also people gonna look at her, you know?
Yeah, so
That's what
I
I'm saying.
wouldn't
Like,
look for
you
that.
want
Yeah.
a girl to be just sitting, like being a housewife, or a girl being like out working,
No, housewife. Yeah.
housewife.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, I know it's weird because you're looking at it through the prism of a woman. You're looking at it as a woman who wants a man to be working. Whereas when we look at women, it doesn't really matter to us. If you're not,
And what if she wanna work?
if she wants to work, she can.
But
Absolutely.
then they're gonna be same problem, the insecurities and everything. Like,
What do you
she
mean
gonna work-
insecurities?
That's what you said. She gonna be go out and a lot of people gonna see her and same
Oh,
insecurities.
look, I'm not talking about seeing you from day to day. I'm talking about being a celebrity. That would be just a headache. I wouldn't
If
want
she is
that.
beautiful, I think then also it's got problem at the work too. If she is beautiful,
Well, look,
she can take
ideally,
man from anywhere.
ideally, what you'd like is a woman who just works part time but then focuses on the kids. But if she's got something she's passionate about, that's a good thing. You want them to have hobbies and to be interesting and have lots of interests. But you don't necessarily want them to be working 9 to 5 and going every day to work, because then it neglects the children and the children have to go to childcare.
So you want like a part-time job for her, and that's okay for you, right?
A part time job would be okay, but ideally not.
So it really is a turn.
Yeah, it's always confusing to me why people have kids and then they go to work to make money to pay someone else to raise their own kids. Why don't people figure out a way where one person can work either part-time, take care of the kids part-time, and then one person, usually who's the man, who works full-time to provide for the family. But having to prioritize your work only to pay random strangers. Now, if you have family members who can take care of your kids, that's one thing. But to go to work and then pay random strangers to raise your kids with their own values, like no one will care for your kids as much as as much as yourself. So it's always mind-boggling to me, and especially because even when women work, they still expect the man to pay 100% of the bills. Now, if she's bringing in 50%, let's say it's a man making $50,000 and a woman making $50,000, and they both join their money to pay the bills, and okay, I could understand. But even those scenarios, even if she's making 50,000 and the man is making 50,000, she wants to bring home 30,000, save 20, but she expects the man to use up all his 50,000 to take care of all the bills.
Off if a woman like wants like a tedious job, like a time-consuming job, or a job where she's in the
why
spotlight.
would she want that?
Why would you want that?
What do you mean?
She has a right to, like, she can.
I know I know she's got a right to, but why would you want that though? If your husband earns enough money for you to not have to go to work, why would you want to go to work if your husband says you don't have to work?
Well, for me, I want to pursue a career in something that I'm passionate for. For example, like in the beginning, I told you guys I wanted to study immunology and become a professor. It takes a lot of time, that's time consuming. But that's what I'm passionate about. And, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I have so much passion for this in this lifetime. And I understand men would feel the same. I
Okay.
would feel like
That's good though. That's your prerogative, and that's no problem. But you guys were looking around like I was strange because I said I wanted a woman who didn't want to have a career. Why is my preference strange, but yours is not?
Because I think it suppresses a woman's urges. But if you find a woman...
Do you think that a woman has an urge to have children and to raise those children?
Yes.
Good question.
Okay, so I don't think it suppresses the urges. I think it frees her to have children.
I want to.
And it's always funny because when a man has preferences, it's an issue. But when they have a preference, they call it... No, when a man has a preference, they say his preferences are suppressing her preferences. But when they have a preference, they expect the man to accept her preferences. It's just always the double standard that I don't even know if it's ever going to stop. But crazy.
And I do want to say, I have no issue if women want to pursue a career. I don't object to it. I don't think Jake does either. I think, but from a dating perspective, and I kind of stepped away there for a second. I don't think a woman's career, her ambition, how much money she makes, for me, and I think for perhaps a lot of men, I don't think most men really find it more attractive. Now, I do want to just add a caveat here, so you don't think I'm a raging asshole. I'm very much in favor of women, for example, going into STEM. I actually think it's a very useful career path because, for example, take cancer, for example, or take various diseases that we don't have solutions to yet. I think we should be throwing all of our intellectual vigor at these problems, whether that is a man, women, or both. I think we should be using the no, exploiting is not the right term. Well, we should be exploiting the intellectual power of everyone that we can to solve these problems, which I do think eventually will have a solution. I think everyone here has probably known somebody who's had cancer or has a family member who's had cancer or some sort of disease. So I'm very much in favor, actually, of women getting into STEM so we can tackle these, various ailments that people eventually come across. But from a purely romantic perspective, I don't think men really care all that much about a woman's income or her.
Men don't care.
I'd care more about her having interests, thing that she's passionate about. And if she's running a little business that's operating at a loss and that keeps her happy and interested, I'm happy with that. But having
Yeah, most men don't mind what type of job. Oh well, let me take that back. Men will care if a woman does OnlyFans or sex work or any kind of BS like that. So men, but they will care in the case of they don't want to deal with her. But any other normal jobs, most guys don't care. That's why the whole saying of a man will choose a woman who works at McDonald's over a woman who is a CEO of a big company. It's a saying for a reason because men don't really care. They see beauty, she's kind, she's available, I'm down. You feel me? So I think the biggest issue guys have when it comes to career women is because even when a career woman makes all this money, she still expects the man to pay all the bills. So you're not home cooking me a meal. You're not home taking care of the kids. You're out there working 60, 80 hours just like me, but you expect me to pay all the bills, right? And I can't even ask you for a sandwich. So what's the point of you working if you're not even going to help me with the bills? And that's where I think that's the main issue most guys have.
a 9-to-5 job while you're trying to raise children, for me, it wouldn't be something that I'd like because you'd want them to be focused on the children. And I think that a lot of guys have that preference, but they're sort of not allowed to say it these days because then they get all the women who jump down their throat and say, "Oh, you want us to be, chained up to an oven?" No, there are a lot of women out there who hear that and think, "Yes, I would love to do that. I would love to just be a mother, love to stay home." But then there's always this reaction when we say that, where people sort of, especially, no offense, but women who consider themselves feminists, they get like up in arms about it. And there's a lot of women who love that, who want that. So.
I
Thank
have
you,
a question
Super
to
Jim
you.
Photography,
Yeah,
for the
please
gift of
go.
10 subs on Twitch. Thank
So,
you.
like, when a woman is pregnant to the first year of the baby, still she feeds the baby. I got it. Like, she can stay home and she needs the proper care, and kids need that to be mom to be around. But I think it should be on the man too, equally taking care of the kids.
No, not during child rearing, not during the infancy of the child.
Yeah, because a man, how is a man going to stay home, take care of the kids, and the woman is also staying home, taking care of the kids? Who's going to pay the bills? The man has to go work the 80 hours since the woman isn't working anymore, because now he almost has to bring in income for the two people, assuming she was actually helping with the bills. Because if the woman was working prior to having the babies, and she wasn't helping with the bills, that means she was keeping her money to herself. So even if she stops working, it doesn't make a change because he was the only one paying the bills. So if the woman is not working anymore, the man has to keep working. It's more of a delegation of roles, specialization. I think we studied that in school. It's like you pick and choose what you're good at, and then you guys find a way to work as a team. But she wants you to go work 80 hours. She stays home taking care of the baby. And after you do your 80 hours, come home and still help out with the baby. Right? It's like, how is that fair to a man? I'm not saying the man can't help at all. I'm just saying to put all this on him. Because if you told her, let's switch the roles. After you have the baby, give me the baby. I'll stay home, take care of the kids. You go work the 80 hours. She's not going to take the deal.
Why do you
Because
think
the
that?
child's attached to its mother. It's biology.
The
Child needs its mother's teat
I
for
got
milk.
it. For 1 year, a baby is feeding. Okay, the mom has to be close, but I think it's equal responsibility. It's it keeps
Look,
you together.
Put it this way: do you see what's happening in the schools these days?
What's going on? I'm
Do
teaching
you see the kinds of things that they're teaching in schools these days,
what they
or
are
in
teaching.
preschools? They've got all kinds of different nefarious flags hanging up around the preschools where they're indoctrinating little kids into different ideologies. Okay, so if you're somebody who has certain conservative values, like I do not want my kids being shipped off. I want them to have my values. So I want them to be at home with my wife, potentially even being homeschooled, depending on how bad this stuff gets.
You didn't get my point. I'm trying to say is like you are reducing her working hours because you want her to focus on kids. But I think
I'm not
it's your
reducing her.
equal-
Listen, I'm not reducing her working hours. She won't want to work. Do you think that that's like crazy that a woman
Can I
wouldn't want
speak
to
to
work?
that?
Trying to
And
say
there's
is-
nannies too
Yeah.
that can stay home.
And I don't want a
with
nanny
you.
raising my kid. Why would I want a
No, I
nanny raising
know.
my kid?
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
either. I think there's a complete
That's the thing. Why have babies, then pay someone else to raise them? They're not going to nobody's ever going to take care of your kids the way you want them to be taken care of. They are going to forget something the mom wouldn't forget. Babies want to stay with their moms. Like if I was a father and I had kids and I have a woman like that, now she's a beautiful woman, so I can see why she has the feminist mindset, because maybe, it's the ego, whatever it is. If this was my wife and she's dying to go to work, I would tell her, you go work, pay all the bills, I'll stay here with my kids, I'll raise them. But I'm not letting my 2 weeks old, even 6 months old baby be raised by some stranger. Or drop off my six-month-year old baby to some strange daycare center to be raised by some strange people with weird behaviors, weird cultures, weird beliefs. You feel me?
honesty to that. I think I used to a few years ago, or the last maybe 2 years, I would have been this more. I still wouldn't call myself feminist, but I had a wall up against men, and I was a little angry about some things that I went through. And so I was like, I'm independent. I can be very independent. I have been for the last few years. I've been by myself, been doing my own thing, taking care of myself. And it was
That's called being an adult. It's not being independent or anything like you're just being an adult. You're doing what an adult is supposed to do, especially if you're not living with your parents.
until this year that that is flipping for me, and that I have realized that I have worn myself out. I don't want to be like this anymore. I mean, I want to be able to take care of myself, and now I know I can take care of myself, but I do want that.
Well, I mean,
to be
once you
able to
get-
go into our feminine is to be able
Once you
to
get a little
be
bit
taken
older,
care of.
towards the wall that they call it,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you start seeking masculine guidance more.
Yeah,
And
it
you'll-
is
you'll start
interesting that
seeking
it
now.
kind of is flipping, that it
Yeah.
used to be that way, and
But
then
the
we
reason
went
why
very
is
feminine
it-
forward, and it is kind of
the
going
reason why
back
it is that
into
way though is because like
care.
the indoctrination is so vast that it's like you're fighting me about saying that you're going to reduce your
I'm
wife's
not
working
fighting
hours.
With, I'm not fighting with you. Very first thing is like I'm
Listen,
just putting my opinion. Like
No, but
what
you're saying to me you're going to reduce her working hours.
no, that's
Yeah,
what
as
you
if like
said.
that's
You
a bad
want her
thing.
to no. It's a very basic thing. Like I would say, kid needs like both mom and dad both.
Hmm.
You want a mother to take care of the kids and focus on them, on the values. They should not feel alone. Everything, cultural value, whatever you want to put in the kid. But I think it's from the both side. It should be from the both side. Not only like from the mother. It should be
It's a
like from the
50-50.
father as well.
It's the
He
father's
both
job to
try.
provide for his family.
But yeah, she's
Yeah.
The
working
emotional
too.
support of the
That's
child and the
why-
love of the child needs to come from the mother.
That's what you think.
That's what.
That's just
you
what, like, one
think.
Yeah,
opinion.
Women can undo.
I guess
That's
I,
just
gue-
what you think. Like
That's what you think, Jake.
I guess
fighting.
Maybe-
throughout history from time immemorial is all wrong, and it's actually the women who are the providers after all, and
Yeah.
men
We
are
are
the
not
nurturers.
saying that it's equal. Like you
How is it equal when you don't want to pay 50% of the bills? This is what gets me. They pick and choose when they want the equality from a man. So when it comes to cooking, they want you to be 50-50, right? When it comes to taking out the trash, they want it 100% of the man. When it comes to paying the mortgage and the rent, they want it to be 100% of the man. Now a man should provide. But when it comes to doing the dishes, oh no, let's go 50-50. Right? When it comes to changing diapers of a kid, let's go 50-50. When it comes to paying health insurance, oh no, a real man provides. Now you pay 100% of the bills. When it comes to protecting the house and someone is breaking in, oh no, a real man protects. You protect. When it comes to working on whichever side of the street, oh, a real man walks next to the cars. You know, like they pick and choose what type of equality they want. And this is what I'm saying. That's why most guys have an issue. Until they can really say, okay, we're gonna go 50 right in the middle. Bring your money on the table. I bring my money on the table. We split. Is rent $1,000? Is rent $2,000? You pay $1,000. I pay my $1,000. Is insurance $800? You pay your $400. I pay my $400. Am I working 80 hours? You work 80 hours too. Are you cooking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? I'll cook Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Are you if that's the equality they really want, then if are you protecting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? If somebody breaks them into the house on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's your turn to protect as a wife. I'll just stay upstairs with the kids, and then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's my turn to protect as a husband. If anybody breaks into the house on those days, I will go downstairs. You run off with the kids. If that's the equality they want, then let's go equal. But they pick and choose when they want equality. Anyway, man, shout out to Brian. This was hard to watch. But what do you guys think? Link down below.